Good evening. Tonight, we are traveling to a place that has almost disappeared from memory. Hidden between endless forests and quiet hills stood a tiny village unlike any other. It wasn't famous for gold. It wasn't famous for powerful kings. It wasn't even marked on most ancient maps. Yet every traveler who found it remembered one strange rule. No one was ever allowed to look at the moon. The rule sounded impossible. Children learned it before they could even read. Parents reminded them every evening. As the sun disappeared behind the hills, every window in every home was covered with thick linen curtains. Doors were closed gently. Lanterns were lit inside. And nobody stepped outdoors until sunrise. The villagers never explained why. If visitors asked questions, the elders only smiled, then quietly changed the subject. For hundreds of years, the rule was never broken. Life remained peaceful. Fields produced enough food. The rivers stayed clear. The forests remained calm. No wars ever reached the valley. People believed their peaceful lives existed because they respected one simple tradition: never look at the moon. Children often wondered what made the moon so dangerous. Was there a monster hiding inside it? Did it change people? Or was it simply an old story created to scare curious minds? The elders never answered. Instead, they always said, "Some mysteries protect us better when they remain mysteries." And somehow ... That answer satisfied everyone, except one boy. His name was Elias. He was 12 years old. Unlike the other children, Elias loved questions more than answers. He collected old maps, broken clocks, strange feathers found deep inside the forest. Every mystery made him smile. Every unanswered question became another adventure. And every single night, as darkness covered the village, he wondered the same thing. What could possibly happen if someone simply looked up? An elderly woman finally stepped forward. Her silver hair reflected the lantern light. Her face showed neither anger nor disappointment, only kindness. She smiled gently. "You looked," she said softly. Elias nodded. "I did." "What did you see?" He searched for the right words. "I saw nothing frightening. The moon was beautiful." And then ... I heard a voice. The old woman's smile grew slightly. "I know." "You know?" She nodded. "Every elder in this village has heard it." Elias frowned. "Then why tell everyone never to look?" The woman looked toward the mountains before answering. "Because most people do not listen. They only hear. The moon does not speak with words. It awakens forgotten memories. For some people ... Those memories become too heavy." She slowly reached into the pocket of her long gray cloak. From inside, she removed a small wooden key. It was old, much older than the village itself. The wood had turned almost black with age. Tiny silver symbols circled its handle. She placed it gently into Elias's hand. "Tomorrow," she whispered, "when the first morning light touches the old oak tree ... take this key to its roots. There is something waiting there." Elias looked down at the key. It felt strangely warm, almost alive. Before he could ask another question, the old woman quietly stepped back. The villagers returned inside their homes. Doors closed softly. Lanterns disappeared one by one. Within only a few moments, the entire village became silent again, as though nothing had happened. Elias stood alone beneath the stars. The key rested quietly in his hand. Somewhere deep inside the forest ... An owl called once. Then everything became still. For the rest of the night, he could not sleep. The whisper echoed gently inside his thoughts. The sky remembers every promise. He didn't yet understand what it meant, but he knew one thing for certain. Tomorrow morning, his life would change forever. The village bell echoed across the valley. Once, twice, 3 times. The sound rolled gently through the sleeping forest, bouncing from one distant hill to another. For a moment, Elias could not move. His feet felt rooted to the cold ground. Below him, small lights slowly appeared inside every cottage. Lanterns glowed behind thick curtains. Doors opened one after another. Yet something felt strange. No one looked toward the moon. Every villager kept their eyes lowered, exactly as they had done every evening of their lives. Instead, they looked toward the hill, toward him. It was almost as if they had been waiting for this night. The cool wind brushed softly against Elias's face. He expected fear. He expected punishment. But instead, the whisper returned. Not louder, not closer, just clearer. The sky remembers every promise. Elias looked around. The hill was empty. No footsteps. No shadows. Only the quiet silver light of the moon covering the grass like gentle frost. He closed his eyes for a moment. Perhaps he had imagined everything. Perhaps curiosity had filled his mind with strange thoughts. But when he opened his eyes again, he noticed something impossible. The moon looked exactly the same. Yet the stars around it had changed. Tiny patterns slowly formed across the sky. Lines of light connected one bright star to another. The shapes looked almost like an ancient map. Not a map of rivers or mountains. A map of memories. Every glowing line seemed alive, moving slowly, breathing quietly. Elias stared without blinking. Then, the stars faded. The ordinary night sky returned. Everything became silent again. Far below, the village remained perfectly still. No one climbed the hill. No one called his name. No one tried to stop him. It was as though everyone understood that this moment belonged only to him. Slowly, very slowly, Elias began walking back toward the village. Each step felt lighter than the last. The whispers disappeared. Only the sound of leaves gently moving in the breeze remained. When he reached the first cottage, he stopped. Every villager stood outside their homes, heads lowered, hands gently folded together. Not one person spoke.